Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pager here, once again with another video on Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. So this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 10, otherwise known as the mid-season premiere, otherwise entitled Daddy Darkest. But before we get into anything else, let's actually watch the trailer.
Blimey.
This is John Constantine.
Skinny Brit in a trench coat.
I am an accomplished warlock, expert on the occult.
Did I tell you I don't like horror movies?
DC's Legends of Tomorrow. All new episodes return February 2018 on the CW.
So I'm sure this trailer got everyone excited by a certain appearance, which we will talk about in a second. But last episode was basically the follow-on from Stein's death, really. Jax getting accustomed to, Martin Stein not being there, trying to sort it out, and just sort of, not being able to, and the younger Stein just coming to terms with what his future self will do and what will happen to him, which ended up with Jax actually leaving the Legends, and I don't think we're going to see Jax back ever. I think the actor made it clear on Twitter and also in an interview that Jax is now gone, but you never know, they might work him back into the story if they need to later on. But obviously last episode also finished with Sarah coming back on the Wave Rider, and who's there? Well, it's John Constantine. So that's the setup for this episode. They did say he was going to be in 2 episodes. Technically it was episode 9 and then this episode being episode 10. It's a bit annoying that he wasn't in last episode more. Even if he was just in half the episode, I would have been happy. But yeah, at least we're going to get one full episode of John Constantine, so you got to take what you can get. But there is actually no synopsis for this episode as of yet, which is basically the same thing for all of the other shows, just because they would have spoiled certain things most likely happening in the mid-season finales. So, it makes sense why they didn't release synopsises or descriptions for the mid-season premieres. But the first thing to really just talk about from this trailer is that Constantine is back, and it's going to be, it's going to sort of be taking elements from his show. Like when he appeared on Arrow in season 4, it felt like an Arrow episode, but just with some Constantine elements chucked in. But this episode looks and almost feels like it's going to be like an episode from Constantine's show back when he was in season 1. Obviously, it didn't get renewed, unfortunately. I don't think there was issues with the show, like it wasn't the best show, like it did have a lot of issues. But one thing I think everyone there can agree on that watched the show is that Matt Ryan played a really good John Constantine, and I think he embodies John Constantine perfectly. So the fact that they can get him back to be on not only Arrow in season 4, but also Legends now is just awesome. But it does look like in this episode he will be performing an exorcism on this girl here. Now, they did tease like a couple of weeks ago that this would be sort of the thing that's going on in this episode, that John is brought in to perform this exorcism. Or he comes to the Legends, might I say, to do this, because obviously at the end of last episode he talked about a girl being controlled, and he just needed the Legends' help to sort that out. Now, the setting for this episode is in an asylum by the looks of it, and I think they also teased that, or at least it maybe even said it in an interview previously. So this should be pretty cool. Like, it should have some like horrific or horror elements to it, but not be too over the top scary, because it is Legends and it is on the CW. But I'm guessing there will be a lot of nods back to the Constantine TV show back from a couple of years ago. Now, we actually do see jitters in this trailer, obviously from Central City. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is current day, because it does look a bit dated. I don't think this is the same like design that the jitters currently has on like the Flash. But it might be wrong, and maybe I just can't remember what it looks like. But to me, it just looks like it might be a couple of, maybe even decades in the past. It might be from like the 90s or the 80s. But let me know if this is current day, because I can't really tell. You can't really see mobile phones or anything, or any TVs to like make it clear, might I say, like what period this is in. But yeah, this is jitters. We're obviously going to Central City to sort this out. I'm just not 100% sure if it's current day or in the past, but let me know in the comments if you have any opinions on that. We do see Citizen Cold, or Leonard Snart from Earth X, in restraints here, with I think a needle going towards his eye in another shot. Now, this is meant to be the last appearance by him on Legends, I'm pretty sure. I think he was only meant to be in episode 9 and episode 10, so he should be leaving at the end of this episode. He could be in episode 11, but I'm pretty sure he's meant to be leaving at the end of this episode. Now, I'm not too sure if him almost dying just makes him think, okay, I can't deal with this, I'm going back to Earth X, there's no more Nazis there, I think I should be good if I go back there. But it will be interesting to see why he's being targeted and like why he's in the restraints. Like, we also do get a shot of the Legends like wheeling Constantine on a bed. Now, I'm not sure if this is like after he tries to perform the exorcism and gets maybe rejected by that, or this is the way that the Legends are sneaking Constantine into the asylum where this girl is. That could maybe be what they're going for, or as I just said, maybe Constantine might have say gets like knocked out or passes out or something, and they have to wheel him away just to get him to safety. I'm not too sure, but it could be one of those two options. But the thing I'm looking forward to most in this episode is actually the chemistry between John Constantine and the rest of the Legends, because you can sort of get some hints from it in the trailer that's going to be like very good. But the interesting thing is that the only one that's actually met John before is Sarah, because back in Arrow season 4, he was the one that actually brought her soul back to her body after she was revived by the Lazarus pit. So she's the only one that knows him, and that's why he approached her at the end of last episode. So all these other people, it's their first like dabbling or like their first interactions with John Constantine, so it should be pretty interesting. I'm expecting Mick probably to have like the best like back and forth between him. Just like maybe Mick being a bit of a skeptic towards like the underworld and the afterlife and stuff like that. But then you never know, like Ray might be not, like questioning a lot of what John's doing as well, because he's more scientific and stuff like that. Now the return date for Legends is unclear at this moment. I think it's meant to be returning in February at some point. They haven't made it clear. Because Legends has less episodes, they will most likely be trying to leave it as long as they can, so when they come back, they will match up so their finale for their season is around like the finale of like the rest of the show. So it might be like a week before, or maybe even the same week as the rest of the show. So we have a longer wait for Legends coming back, which can be disappointing, especially if you're looking forward to seeing more Constantine. But it makes sense why they're doing that, so it lines up with the rest of the shows come right at the end of the season. But it's not going to be coming back on the same day as The Flash, as it's usually been for this season and the back half of last season, because Black Lightning is taking the spot that Legends had. So this does mean that Legends will be getting a new day and maybe even a new time. So it could be maybe after Supergirl, or it could be on maybe the time after Riverdale on a Wednesday in America. So yeah, like watch your space, or it could like they might move Supernatural and put Legends before Arrow. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, just watch this space, because they should reveal that pretty soon, just so people know what's going on. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'll be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode. I think like 99% of the comments are going to be Constantine, but if you have any other things you're looking forward to, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.